Hey guys, this is Brian Bowman back with Disc Golf Examiner's second 10-hole coverage at the 2020 Hoppy Hyzer Powered by Prodigy Discs. We're holding this out at Sugarcreek or Sugarcreek if you're a local, and this is a really cool, unique Western Pennsylvania course. And our coverage today is brought by Steel City Discs and Team Trinity. And Steel City Discs, who is run by our tournament director, Cody Wingett, where he can hook you up with all of that sweet Prodigy plastic, anything you need. He's a team member and an all-around nice guy, so hit him up. While Team Trinity actually owns a really cool spot out by Indiana, PA in Homer City, where they do air sports, which is like paintball and airsoft, as well as disc golf. And we got the Simpson brothers that run the place. They're great for the disc golf community. They donate their time, their energy into coursework, and they donate to things like the Hoppy Hyzer. With me today in the booth, I have Chris Lutz. He is one of the locals from the Hoppy Hyzer, or for Sugarcreek, and actually helped install the course. So why don't you tell the folks, in case they didn't tune in, tell them what we're looking at for our course here.
Oh, well, we are looking at a 20-hole wooded PA disc golf course.
Lots of elevation, pretty flat. It's kind of up and down, but not huge hill. But it's definitely the type of course where you got to hit your line and you got to pick up birdies where you can, because as you'll see, there's, for example, there was a 400 or 357-foot par 4 in our lead card. You know, they didn't know par it even. So you can see why the scores are so close here, with Mark Fedorenko and Dave Sileo at 2 under, Matt Rosier and Vinny Montanari at 1 under, and with 10 holes to go, it's really up in the air. One bad tree kick could turn the day around for somebody here. Taking a look at some of our other competitors. Cody Wingett, our course tournament director. Here's one of our sponsors from Trinity Sports, hucking a big one in the practice area. But yeah, it was a beautiful day out here. Really not a lot of wind, just enough to keep it nice in the shade and provide some hot scores. You guys put a lot of work into this course. Definitely had it looking good. I know there's a lot of ferns out here, as we'll see on these nice green fairways as we look at hole 10. Go ahead and describe this hole for us, Chris.
Actually, this is going to be hole 11 on the course, about a 400-foot all uphill shot, par 4.
Kind of got a right hook to it, so if you're throwing backhand, you got to get it to turn a little bit. And Vinny's our left hand. He's up first, left hand. Our left-handed player. So he should be able to put a big old hyzer up there if he just puts it straight up the gap. And he does exactly that. Wow, and a good skip. He's probably...
That's a very nice shot.
Yeah. You can see the group ahead of them was still putting out there, so he got up there. Dave doesn't get it to flip as much as he'd like, kind of goes straight, but he's right in the landing zone, so not too bad. And you'll hear us all boo here. We were not booing at Matt's shot. He was just contemplating doing the backhand roller, and then he decided at the last second not to, but he still had a great shot. We boo Rosier whenever we can. Mark gets it a little flippy, gets off the left-hand side. He's going to have the furthest out for any of the guys and really the most obstructed line.
No, it's too wide. Perfect.
Ooh, flip.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh,
Look at
get
that.
some love off the tree.
Man, he made up. He's really saving some strokes from these tree kicks today. It's pretty awesome to see. We see Dave is just off a little bit to the right of where he was, a little bit closer to the actual fairway.
Nice.
With a perfect finesse shot. That's going to be a tap-in for him. Rosier's got a nice slow putter up shot. Bart. Then he's actually jump putting it with an Anheuser putt.
Jump putt. I should see our first star frame of the round.
Oh, see, he was worried about it. You can see the look on his face. They said the same thing. Hey, guys, we might be able to get a star frame here. No jinx. See, Dave's almost pushed right back out, too. You'll notice there's some other baskets, not just the salmon baskets. We've got our animals out here as well. Mark wanted to make sure that we showed him not screwing up that star frame. And one thing you'll notice about the course out here when you're walking around, there's tons of cool little stuff, little trolls in the trees and a Sasquatch, and these guys put a lot of neat things to look at. This hole's the island hole. Pretty self-explanatory, and you guys decided to put a wall at the front of it.
Yeah, that's a little difficulty to it.
Yeah, so really, you got to get anywhere within that wooded circle. If not, I believe you were throwing from the red tee, which is right ahead there. And Vinny spikes one right in. Island hole with an elevated basket. You guys are sadistic. And the island's only a little bit bigger than circle one, right? It's probably 40 feet.
I'd say about a 40-foot circle, yes.
Dave puts it within 5 feet, so he's not going to have a problem. Rosier says, I'm also going to take the outside line and go for the skinnier gap by accident. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's some luck there, because if he would have went over that, that would have been OB.
Stick it. Ooh, it's in.
We got lucky, too.
All made it within the circle.
Got a long putt, but he's got that wall as a backstop. Look.
Oh, Matt's going to take the rare three.
No.
Oh, another one. I'd like to say it's the camera jitters, but we're on hole 12, boys.
That elevated basket.
Yeah, very nicely elevated, too. Vinny scoots one in over the top there. There's a birdie. So that's closing up the gap here on the lead. I mean, we got 3 guys at 3 under. Matt's going to pick up his par. It's stay at 2, but again, we still got 8 holes. We're playing 20, 7 holes, 8 holes.
Looks like Dave took the lead with that birdie shot.
Oh, yeah, I got ahead of myself. First time on camera for Dave, and he's taking the lead on lead card. On to hole 13. Very interesting hole. Last time I played here, these bushes right here were about half the height, so you could go over them. And now you have to go over them and stay under the overhang. So it's almost like a quadruple mando if you really want to hit the line. You can see that right there between those 2 trees and over those bushes is where you want to hit. And then he catches the right side guardian. Dave catches the left side guardian. You can see one of your strategically
placed. Matt can split the uprights.
Nope, left side. It's such a deceptive hole, man. Mark airs one over. Catches some branches, and oh yeah, he's on the green. He's on the edge of the green. Do you guys have any baskets that sit on the ground on this course?
There's actually only 9 of the baskets of the 20 are elevated. There's a few that aren't.
Yeah, some of the ones in the ground are on a cliff, though.
Yes. We worked with the land that we had and put some difficulty in where we could.
You'll see some of those strategic vines there, and Matt has to take a total backdoor gap and just pures it until the last tree, but he'll have a look. Vinny, another finesse forehand shot. Oh, he scoots up there.
Oh.
A lot of good recovery shots in this hole. This is a 1100 rated scrambling hole here. Mark's got the long putt from outside. Clinks top.
Oh, off the top.
Dave does have this skinny little tree. Really, it shouldn't be in anybody's way, but you know it's going to be in your mind. Oh. Call Matt Rosier.
See if Matt can save his par.
Woo! Yeah.
There we go. Good putt.
Caught the band and spit it directly down in. That's good. Sneaking it in there, Vinny.
Okay, mine was better.
Good scramble, good scramble. We got Rosier closing in the gap a little bit there. It should be a tap in for Dave for his par. Easy. He knew that was in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, bogey.
Nice little birdie, nice little stretch of holes coming up. They can birdie.
Yeah. And a par for Mark. Taking us on to hole 14, par 3, 248 feet. Another one of those holes that, yeah, it's 248, but I feel like I got to throw, even though it's downhill, I got to put 300 on it if you want to miss the gap trees and still push all the way down this last part of the fairway here. Otherwise, you're going to end up off to the left or the right and probably be obstructed on another elevated putt. Beautiful fairway there. Then he gets off a little bit to the right, saws it off.
Should have about circles edge putt.
Bummer from Rosier, but he gets that anti-skip off the root. Mark's going to look the smooth one down there with a forehand. A little stable, but good roll. Dave going flexy. Wants a little more flex. Oh, but he stayed out of those trees. He should, yeah, he'll be unobstructed there. That's good. This is a course where you really got to make your long putts to pick up the birdies. Matt laughing that he did not make his long putt there. Ooh, Dave.
Oh, good.
He wanted it. Vinny just catches a little foliage there. Mark about circle's edge. Big putt for a birdie.
Nice putt.
Oh, and we got an examination with the tracking shot. Yeah. A little to the left side, but high enough that it made it in. Problem with that putt is if he misses it, he's going to have a 25-foot comeback there, like no matter what.
Yeah, it kind of slopes off from the basket downhill.
Yeah, you can see Matt has to come back up that hill to save his par, which he does. And he pulls his putter right through there because he putts with these, I believe they're Swans that are like 10 years old and they're basically falling apart. Oh, I'm not even sure the PDG are illegal. We'll have to check it out. Hole 15, 190 feet, 58 meters. It's a shorty, but it's got a little surprise here at the end. It's hard to attack. You can't really, it's really hard to get one out there long enough and low enough to get into the basket. I heard that one of our card guys did ace it in the past. I believe Rosier aced it. You see Mark take a run. A little left, a little long. You can see he got a really tight gap kind of the whole way.
Early tree from Vinny.
He called it right out of his hands that he was going to hit that same tree. Dave's pumping one out nice and flat. Catches the right side, though.
Ooh.
And we were joking that all the pavement is OB. Nobody landed on it, though. See, Vinny tries to sneak one in there, but it's hard to come in high enough and low enough to make it to the center of the pavilion.
Ooh.
I think Dave might have hit Bryan there. We'll have to stroke him. Mark lining up one that's got to go through the uprights there, kind of. Ooh.
Nice putt, Mark.
Yeah, he's on a little bit of a hot streak here. That's 2 birdies in a row. He's 5 under. He's got 2 strokes on his closest competitor. And with 5 holes left, you know, they're going to have to really put some birdies up here on these next holes. Which it can happen. But there's some hard ones, though.
Yeah, the next stretch of 3 holes, 16, 17, 18, are considered the 3 hardest on the course.
Yeah, so this one's really interesting. You guys built this really cool platform here to shoot off of, and there's plenty of distance there because you got to shoot over this bumble patch. That's what we call those thick weeds out here in Western PA. You kind of make that blind shot out past the turnover Sasquatch over here into one of the cooler basket placements. You guys have so many. The spider tree here where you got blockers from 3 sides, so it's almost good to come past it and put it in, you know, the way Mark is here from round 1.
Yeah, depending on what angle you're from, the 6-footer could be even hard.
Mark absolutely hits every gap he needs to hit.
Oh, wow.
It was an ace run. Like, I don't know if he knew it was an ace run because you can't see the basket from the tee, but ooh.
Oh.
At least he cleared all of that bumble because you get trapped down in there. That's a pitch out for sure.
Yeah, there's actually a double mando right before that bumble that you have to hit, too.
Matt gets a great straight shot. He wanted it to turn a little more, but where he is, he's uphill looking down at the basket. He should be able to float one down. Dave gets a nice flat shot. Flips a little foliage. Puts it in the rock
Still
pile.
gets through, though.
Yep. Ooh, Vinny put a move on that. Here's one of those strategic vines just to get in your head. Just put something in your way. Ooh, another good run from Dave.
Oh, and he gets not too bad of a roll.
Yeah, he'll be on the open side of the tree at least. Rosier, on the other hand, has to go through 2 trees and the other 2 trees. Oh, just barely misses it. That would have been the putt of the day, if you ask me. That was such a hard line. Oh, Mark did get it quite a bit past it.
Oh.
No birdie streak there. Didn't keep it alive, but good par from Vinny. Mark will tap in his par.
I think it's you.
Dave parring out as well. So no real changes in our score. Now you see he's got a little skinnier of a gap to deal with.
Fudge, come on.
Good stuff. Par frame. Now we've got a 2-stroke lead with Mark as we get into one of the hardest holes on the course, in my opinion, hole 17. You'll see the camera here taking a right route, but most of our players are going to take a left route and try to penetrate up this hill a little bit. But then you've got this very, very steep area here, and Chris will tell you about the green. It's treacherous.
Yeah, it gives you a death putt. Yeah, the camera can't justify the elevation on this hill.
Yeah, I tried to when we get up there, but you'll see how hard these guys are throwing just to hit this gap. And if you hyzer out, you get right into that bunker of trees. It's very strategically placed. Vinny with the lefties throwing that mantis again. Just gets it too low of a release. Hits one of your little log piles. The bunker walls. Matt had a nice straight shot, a little low. He would have liked to get up the hill a little more for some footing, but he gets a rip.
No flippage.
Yeah, he should be in good shape there. Straight shot to the basket.
Yeah, center fairway. And now this is Bryan looking back down at us. You can see how far away from the basket they still are. Tough break. The gravity's really heavy over there. Everything likes to go down that hill.
Oh, yes, Matt. Come on.
Matt caught a little bit of foliage to slow him down, and he is at the bottom. Yeah, unfortunately, Vinny just kind of squared up the tree he needed to beat for his upshot there. Mark's got a similar lie to what Rosier had, just a little further up the hill. Just catching a tree right around where Vinny did. Got a straight look though. Good sit. You gotta have your disc sit there.
Nice shot.
Vinny trying to match the angle of the hill.
Yep. So now you can kind of see how downhill this is. Because he looks really tiny down there by that bumble. I'm going to try to skip it kind of, I'm guessing. Perfect. Rosier's down in the hazy shade down here. Trying to put 50 feet up. It's not 50 feet. Probably 20 feet, though.
Feels like 50.
Feels like 50. You got to put 50 power on it. Vinny was happy with that one. Scared. I told him to lay up. He didn't listen. I'm glad he didn't listen. So that one's definitely a true par 4. There's no way to get to the green. I mean, maybe someone can if they got lucky, but to get to the green from the tee here is phenomenal. So pars here are good.
Very good on this hole.
Hole 18, I really like it. 500 feet, straight, dead straight, a little bit downhill. And the thing is, like, it looks kind of sparsely wooded to the left and the right, but all of those tiny, tiny little trees. When you get in there, whew, it's like jail. Everybody's going to try to pump some sort of controller distance driver as far as they can, as straight as they can.
Ah, very nice shot from Mark. Right in the middle.
If you can put it at the cameraman's feet, that's the right place to be because he's standing in the landing zone. Vinny with that mantis gets it a little flippy. And his kick took him the whole way across the fairway. A little closer to the basket, but I don't know what kind of line he's going to have from there.
Boom.
Perfect. No, it looks like Matt leaves it go a little low.
Yeah, he put his hands up in the air like he just didn't care.
Come on.
Dave wants some flip. Staying straight. That'll be an all right spot. There's kind of a cutout there.
And then after that, it's like every other disc is this crap.
Matt and I were arguing about the distance here.
Keep going.
And we were both 30 feet about short or long. So he went 30 feet short. We'll get in the basket. Ooh.
Come on. Oh.
Man.
Look good.
His touch forehands have been, his flexi touch forehands have really been on today. The mark is so far up here, he's just kind of got a little, he's just playing it into the ground. Smart layup. Tap in birdie.
Oh, yeah, drop in birdie.
Vinny told me he was just going to throw it and it would go through one of those gaps. And it did.
Oh, Matt.
Now that is a good scramble birdie. Vinny closing it up, but unfortunately for him, Mark's got that tap in there. So he's going to keep the gap at 2 with 2 holes to go. Nice
Good putt from Dave.
Yeah, 3 birdies on this hole is pretty darn good.
That it is.
I thought that was Rosier's par. We'll have to check the scores. Yeah, I think that was his par. There's a birdie for Mark. Taking him to 6 down. Vinny at 4 down. David 4 down, and Rosier at 2. Hole 19. What's it looking like, Chris? Hyzer?
Looking like about 180-foot Hyzer shot. There's an outside line or an inside line.
That inside line is tempting. He's taking the outside. Ooh, catches the middle trim. What's our lefty going to do here? He's going to go with looks like a mid-range Hyzer forehand. Mid-range Hyzer forehand. Edge of the green.
Yeah, it gives him the circle's edge putt.
That's the line you want, a high line, so when it comes down, you get a skip, little roll. Not bad. Rosier said he didn't mean to go the aggressive line, but he got it anyway. He's going to have a pretty long putt, though.
Oh, God. Please get through somehow. Great.
Nice upshot from Mark. Smart move. Rosier just clipped that tree. It's a big one from Vinny. Big Hyzer putt. I'm telling you, that's his range. Circle's edge with a Hyzer putt on a steep angle. He seems to be knocking those down pretty good today. Oh, Dave.
That's all you can do is laugh that one off.
Momentary lapse of concentration. He got big putted by Vinny. Still got his putt, though. Mark needs to make this, for sure. Okay. If he would have bogeyed that, that would have made this last hole much, much more interesting. Still going to be pretty interesting, though. I like this. Strategic bind right off the tee. Right in the height you want to throw it. Because in my game, you want to hit that hill and kind of just bounce and sit. I've hit the chains with the anti-skip off this hill before. But if you get off left or right, that green really poses some unique threats. Like you don't see in a lot of greens.
I've actually got lucky and aced this hole once.
Hey, all right. As you see, Vinny got off to the left there, and he's going to have to put over that green if he wants a chance to birdie this and get a stroke. Going to tie it up, actually. Mark. Ooh.
Go. Throw it harder. Right with you,
He
man.
gets right over there with Vinny, too. He's also going to have a not easy putt. They're both laughing about it back there.
And there's a little slope on the back side of that pin, too, that they don't hit the hill right. They're rolling down.
Yeah, Dave took the line I was talking about. He's just a little past the basket. Matt goes with a thumber, and he gets caught down in the trench. But he should be able to make that. He's tall. Here's Mark's putt. He would like to put this away right here. Oh. We got pull away. We got a pull roll away there. He's down in the ditch, probably 20 feet out, but 20 feet down. Oh, and Vinny.
Oh, off the basket.
Man, if he could have birdied that, that would have forced this to go into a playoff. Mark picks it up, picks up his par regardless. That's really great. Good for him. Unless something crazy happens and everybody DNFs, it looks like he is going to be taking the win today.
Very interesting to watch these guys play the course.
I thought at the halfway point, I thought.
Yeah, it's a little outside the norm. I mean, I say it's outside the normal area, but I travel an hour to go to Moraine. It's only an hour and 10 to come up to Sugar Creek. I got to make it up here more often because I know you guys are putting in even more holes. You're going to do 24 total, right?
There's plans on putting possibly 24, maybe even total of 27. Depends on where we can find some extra land.
Why stop? Why stop, man? There's a lot of nice geography out there. So that is going to wrap it up for us here at the 2020 Hoppy Hyzer, powered by Prodigy Disc. Excuse me. There's me giving the finger guns, socially distanced. I wish I could be playing more, but I got a new baby, and I'm trying to stay as far away from people as I can. Again, thank you to our coverage sponsors, Steel City Discs and Trinity Sports. Check them out on the web and in person. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, you're going to run into those guys. Ask them what they got in their trunk. Probably some cool stuff in terms of disc golf goods and shirts and hats and paintball and airsoft stuff. So for our final board here, we got Mark Fedorenko in first. Dave coming in with a second place win and tied with Vinny. Fourth place, Michael Christian. Fifth place, Blake Kelly, tied with Matt Rosier. And seventh, Chris Lutz. What? Good finish, Chris.
Thank you.
Tied with Sam Cord. He's an out-of-towner. We see him all the time. And that was the bottom of the cash line there. So way to cash. Good job, guys. You'll see the rest of our leaderboard there. Jay Gary dropped Cho on there. His son actually got Mark started on disc golf when the Ultimate season got canceled. So weird circle of multiple generations of Pittsburgh disc golf going on here. Cody got finger guns. Everybody got finger guns. Cody was RTD. We want to thank him. Again, thank Prodigy Disc. I said it right that time. Thank you, Chris, for your time.
Thank you.
We'll be sure to pump it up. Go on to Disc Golf Course Review. Give Sugar Creek a good review if you've played it. They take a lot of care of the stuff out there. And until next time, until next year's Hoppy Hyzer or the championship at Sugar Creek this year, keep banging those chains.